Hi everyone, welcome back to 5 Minute Family Search. What I would like to do with you now is make another video of how to merge duplicates. This is an area when I teach that people tend to get a little nervous about. They're worried that they're going to make a mistake, and so some people will just say, I'm just going to close out that record and hope that somebody else will take care of it. And it's not a scary thing, and so I want to show you again how to do it. So this is Luther. I can look, and there's two ways on Luther's details page here that I can tell that he has duplicates. So the first is I would see this green box, and I would come down here so that I could go ahead and process through his ordinances for him. When I click on that, I come down here and it looks like everything's fine. I click request, but instead of sending it to the temple, it tells me that there could be possible duplicates. And this is a way the system will stop us from doing a person's temple work multiple times. So I am just going to go ahead and come over here and click out of there. And I am going to scroll back over here to the left, and I'm going to click on the details page again. So now we're back on that main page. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to look at the parents and siblings. And when I do, I can see that it says that George and Anna, they have 7 children. But when I look down here, I can see that Luther is listed 2 times. Once as Luther E and once as Luther C. So that tells me that Luther is in here 2 times. Now, just because a person is listed 2 times, that doesn't mean there's only 2 records. Luther could actually have more records in Family Tree, but the parents are not attached as these parents, George Washington Letner and Anna O. Roberts. So what I am going to do is I am going to come over here to possible duplicates, and I'm going to let the computer check to see how many duplicates there are. So in this case, there really is one duplicate, the one that we saw, and we are going to come all the way over here to click Review Merge on the right hand side. So I'm going to click on that blue button, and when I do, I come back to the page that we've seen in another video where we have both records side by side. Now, if I scroll down, you're going to see that there is a lot more information on the right-hand side than there is on the left-hand side. And so I am actually going to use this right here, the switch positions in the middle of the screen, and I'm going to click on that. And when I do, I now have the record that has all the information on the left side. So that just saves me time of having to go through and click everything. And so as I said in the other video, as I scroll down here, you're going to see replace, 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 replace with these arrows over here on the left side. And they are pointing to information over here. Now this tells me that this information is already here. It just wants to replace it. So I want to see Luther C and Luther E. I am going to come down here, and here's an alternate name right here, Luther E, Luther E. So this tells me that it probably is Luther E, and I could come in here and I could keep checking and go through some of the sources and find out. But I am just going to go ahead and leave it the way that it is right now for Luther C, and then I can come back and check that information and find out. So it's not necessary to replace it. Remember that anything that we don't replace at the end in this column is going to be rejected, or it's just going to go away. So over here, I have much more information. I have a birthplace, I have a death place, I have a lot more information on the left-hand side, and so this is definitely the information that I want to keep. Now as I come down here further, an alternate name, that's already over there, so we can just ignore that information as well. One thing I do want to go over with you, and I forgot to do this in the last video, if we look at his sex, it is male for both, and that is the way obviously it's supposed to be. Sometimes though, you'll notice that one says male and one will say female because somebody accidentally went in and just clicked the wrong box. If that happens and he needed his temple work done, it's going to not let me do it because it will confuse the computer and it won't let me process through that name, but it won't tell you that, and that's what gets kind of confusing. It won't tell you why you can't process it. But when you go in and see what you did, and it'll show you that one was a male and one was a female, and so that discrepancy will halt that record. So what you'll want to do in that case is just to go ahead and call Salt Lake and talk to them and let them know what happened, and they'll just go in and they will fix the record and mark them whichever sex that they're supposed to be, and then you'll be able to go ahead and process through that temple work. So just keep that in mind as you are going through and doing these records. Now as I come down to the bottom, I'll see here that it wants to replace the parents, and we can see that George Washington at L4MB with his ID number is the same, and so is Anna Roberts, the 9ZWL. So these are the same parents, so we can just come on down and we're going to click Continue Merge. And then we would just go ahead and type in a response there. For the sake of the video, I'm going to come back and do that in a little bit, but I will just go ahead and click Finish Merge. And that there rectified Luther's information. So now if I click on ordinances, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click request. Now before endowment showed that it needed to be done, and now it's saying it's completed. So that endowment was showing in the other record. So that lets us know now that he does not need his endowment done. So we're going to click request. We're going to say all, just in case there's some other sealings or something that we don't see that need to be done. We're going to click request. We're going to come down and say that we have read, because we did that in the other video about the church ordinances policies, and we're going to click add to temple list. And now we have sent Luther's sealing to parent. You'll see that down here, sealing to parent, not printed, and it's reserved by Jackie Maxfield. And so that is how, again, in a second video, you can go through and look at merges and rectify those duplicates in Family Tree.